Welcome to Asinine Crime. Today we're taking a look at some shady shenanigans going on in the United Kingdom. The following footage comes from a program that aired on mainstream TV in England titled This Cop Life. Take note, this is an official pro-police television program in which the UK Police Media Relations Department had final cut. With that in mind, everything you're about to see is deemed to be completely appropriate and professional police behavior. 9:20 a.m. on a busy weekday morning in Maidstone, with a population of approximately 250,000 people. And how are we introduced into the scene? By watching two female officers relaxing in a police car, illegally parked in a busy town center, chatting about bikinis and shopping online, while getting some personal banking done on their smartphone. Remember, the police had final cut. This is the edit they approved.
It's what?
1 week, 3 days till payday.
Yeah.
It's good, isn't it?
Why are you skint?
No. I was just looked at my bank actually and I was surprised.
Sneaky quick look at the camera in a moment of contemplation, as she knows what she's about to say next is completely inappropriate and highly unprofessional, but then ultimately decides to say it anyway, because it'll embarrass her coworker buddy on TV.
The amount of stuff you've been buying. 28 bikinis, oh, that's very good.
And it wasn't even funny.
Town centre officers Gigi and Gemma are planning to investigate a shop that's becoming a focal point for antisocial behaviour.
At this point, you're probably thinking the same thing I was. What a strange type of shop to be becoming a focal point for antisocial behavior. They appear to sell pink kids' chairs and brooms. However, they do sell vaping products, so maybe that's the reason why unruly groups of people are choosing to loiter outside the shop, getting loud and antisocial. Whatever the reason, let's observe how these officers assist the shopkeeper in remedying the situation.
Trading standards have got the power to search, and so we go and accompany them in case they need any assistance.
Okay, so they're not there to help the shop owner at all. They're there merely to observe and only intervene if a disturbance breaks out, and to not interfere with the trading standards investigation.
I've got to give you a notice which just explains my powers and rights to be here, and it just explains, what I can do while I'm here.
This is an issue, you're selling what can only be described as drug deal bags.
Straight out the gate, officer number 1 has stuck her nose in and got involved, making outlandish incriminating statements directed at the business owner for selling a 100% legal product.
Button bags?
Button bags? What, for, as if, like, you're stitching? Come on. All right, we're in Maidstone Town Centre. I don't think, with the greatest respect, the people hanging around outside causing a problem on a Friday night are sewing.
Female officer number 2 makes a good point. I also doubt the people hanging about on a Friday night are sewing, but selling plastic bags is in no way illegal, which makes the way this officer is speaking to this gentleman extremely disrespectful. These officers should be standing silent in the background, letting trading standards do their job.
What you are encouraging is drug use. There's no other way about it. All of this section is just encouraging cannabis and other drug use. And I think you need to think about the message that your shop's sending out.
Why is this police officer berating this shop owner? Everything he's selling has been approved by the UK government and deemed legal to sell to the public.
And at the minute, it looks like a drug shop to me. You have to think about the community and the impact that you're having.
How exactly is this not considered police intimidation?
It's important that we deal with these issues that might seem minor among teenagers and young people early on. I think it's a bit of a stepping stone into smoking cannabis. It makes me really angry.
And there you have it, the real reason this shopkeeper's getting a hard time. It makes her really angry.
As you can see, there's lots of, like, deal bags.
No, most definitely not like you can see. That is pure speculation from a very biased viewpoint.
Pipes, which people use to smoke crack as well, obviously. Awareness scales for drugs. Cannabis grinders, that's not good when it's in the face of young people. And the vapes as well. A lot of them like to buy cheap vapes, underage, and then pass it on to their mates.
These police officers sure are blaming a lot of the world's problems on this poor shopkeeper. It's a case of supply and demand. This guy is selling legit legal items to free-thinking adult members of the public.
I don't have kids, but I've got nieces and nephew who I absolutely dote on. So obviously anything drug-related, for me, I'm so anti it, and I don't want them involved in it and all the issues that that could bring if they obviously come into contact with the type of people who sell it.
I can't actually believe that the UK Police Media Affairs Department signed off on this. Is this really how they want to portray themselves to honest, hard-working British business owners?
the paraphernalia side of it, you can sell. It's not illegal. To the point you've even got like cannabis cookies. So when they remove certain substances from it, it's actually legal.
Again, I'm sympathetic to her point. However, I'm pretty sure if her niece and nephew ever did actually happen to accidentally mistake a drug dispensary for a toy shop, they wouldn't get served.
But obviously don't want young people having it. I've searched people before where they've got these in their school bags and they just pack their little pots with weed.
This female officer just admitted to knowing everything in the shop is completely legal and allowed to be sold. I think she's in the wrong job. Sounds like she would make a much better school teacher or social worker.
And then all this stuff as well, like poppers. They would like smell it, get a buzz, get a high.
God forbid a bunch of silly teenagers having fun one afternoon experiment by cracking open a bottle of poppers and giving it a sniff.
The staff have had issues with antisocial behaviour from young people.
Have they still been causing a problem?
Not as much recently.
Back to why they're actually there, the problem of antisocial behavior. What advice will the officers give?
To me, when obviously we're trying to keep the kids out of trouble and stop trouble for you and your shop, you walk in, the first thing I see is all the cannabis grinders, crack pipes and baggies for drugs.
So it would appear that the officer's advice is, close down your business.
And the last thing we want is someone coming in, the kids buying the deal bags, and then they think, oh, I'll buy one of those, and then they're tempted to maybe try other drugs, like crack. Yeah? That's what I mean. So it opens up a whole world of grief. And we're trying to stamp down on it.
That was the most awkward David Brent-sounding sentence, if I ever did hear one. Truly a female Ricky Gervais. Let's watch that bit again simply for the complete absurdity of it.
And the last thing we want is someone coming in, the kids buying the deal bags, and then they think, oh, I'll buy one of those, and then they're tempted to maybe try other drugs, like crack. Yeah? That's what I mean. So it opens up a whole world of grief. And we're trying to stamp down on it. And then whose idea was it to get magic cookies?
Whose idea was it to get magic cookies? Considering she knows they're legal, why is she even asking the question?
The CBD products and drug paraphernalia may be legal to sell, but there's other merchandise that causes even bigger problems on the streets.
They've just noticed they sell toy guns. Are they going to blame them for all the local gun crime now as well?
Do you think that looks good with all the BB guns, bearing in mind all the other stuff that's here?
Honestly, yeah, I don't see a problem with BB guns. Because I don't sell them to kids or anyone under the age of 18 or 21.
No, but as an example, one of the guys who sleeps further along the road here, he had one from your shop. He wasn't underage, and he was like literally drunk, wandering around with it outside here. This was only a few weeks ago.
Yes, you heard right. This police officer is actually blaming the shopkeeper for the actions of a crazy drunk man down the road. For one, there's no evidence the gun was purchased in that shop. And secondly, I don't see her visiting the local off-licensed liquor store to give the owner of that shop an earful.
Because you can imagine for people in the town centre that's so intimidating because people won't know that that's an air weapon and not a real gun and they'll think it's real.
And we'll get a call about it. You can see where I'm going with it. It will spiral out of control.
If you ever get a call about a man waving a gun about in the town center, he's probably robbing a bank.
It appears there's nothing for sale that's actually illegal until Trading Standards Officer Oliver examines the vapes.
They really are looking for any little thing to screw over this shop owner.
So that one, strength is okay, but this one, they said it's 6 millilitres.
OK, so it's too big.
Yep, 2 millilitres is roughly 600 puffs.
1,500 puffs is too
It's
much.
clearly going to be too much, yeah.
OK.
With thousands of vapes in the shop, Gigi and Gemma start helping to check the shelves.
So they're too big in terms of their capacity as well.
Whoever's in charge needs to look up the legislation.
But the main concern with these is obviously the health impact that they can have on people, especially kids that are smoking them in the local parks and stuff. It's a big problem. So we've got hundreds and hundreds of these.
Top-notch police work, sent to observe only. They did a great job at remaining mutual and non-complicit.
£7 grand's worth, just there. That bag alone.
That'll all be seized and sent for destruction.
Well, dang, I guess this guy's family's going hungry this month. At least they're not rubbing it in his face, making him feel any worse than he already does.
Despite clearing the shop's stock from the shelves, Gigi and Gemma are keeping it light-hearted.
Right, if you could
swivel chair.
swivel me.
I was mistaken. They're a pair of childish Karens, reveling in the fact they got their way and showing zero remorse toward the now bankrupt business owner.
Oh, can I give you those? Can you give them to Keith, please? Okay, swivel me back now.
How are they not fired after this?
Member of staff reckons about 20 grand's worth of stock, which is quite a lot if you look at the bare shelves. So financially, it's a big loss for them, but obviously for us, it's a great seizure.
What does she mean, for us? I thought they were only there to oversee trading standards. How is it now suddenly her seizure?
Trading standards, they'll obviously take the seizure and they'll conduct inquiries, do some digging and check out, you know, what's regulated and what isn't and what the current legal status is with a lot of the products. Thank you for your help. Any questions, speak to Trading Standards.
See what I mean? She's now directing them to only contact trading standards regarding what just took place because she knows it had absolutely nothing to do with her and she shouldn't have even got involved.
But we just want to make sure everything's regulated properly and that we don't have constant issues with people in the town centre with vapes and drugs, yeah? The businesses that have exploited young people for financial gain, that's a complete no-no. It's a no tolerance for Kent Police and definitely for us in the town centre. And they're well aware on our stance on it, the impact it has on the community, the local businesses as well. It's really nice to meet you, all right? All right, we'll see you later.
Saying it was really nice to meet you just after you ruined somebody feels more like a backhanded compliment to me, a final F you as you walk out the door.
And obviously we'll just keep reattending and dealing with it should we see fit.
Should we see fit? Yes. And that's the problem, isn't it? A means to an end without any thought of the consequences.